The proposed research paper introduces a novel approach to multimodal crowd counting via modal emulation. The authors argue that existing methods, which primarily focus on visual features of RGB images, have limitations when dealing with intricate environments like occlusions and shadows. They propose a two-pass learning paradigm that enables efficient modal emulation, alignment, and fusion. The framework consists of a multimodal inference pass and a cross-modal emulation pass. The former utilizes a hybrid cross-modal attention module to extract global and local information, achieving efficient multimodal fusion. The latter uses attention prompting to coordinate different modalities and enhance multimodal alignment. A modality alignment module is also introduced, which employs an efficient modal consistency loss to align the outputs of the two passes and bridge the semantic gap between modalities. The authors highlight the importance of modality alignment, which has not been fully explored in previous methods. They propose a modal emulation-based approach that transforms the input of one modality into the features of another through simple and efficient operations. This approach enables the encoder to comprehend and align two distinct modalities well enough. Extensive experiments are conducted on both RGB-Thermal and RGB-Depth counting datasets, demonstrating the superior performance of the proposed method compared to previous methods. The technical contributions of this paper include the proposal of a two-pass learning paradigm, a modality alignment loss, and a hybrid cross-modal attention module. The authors also provide a comprehensive review of related work in multimodal crowd counting, including the use of thermal or depth images to improve counting performance, especially in challenging scenes with low light and occlusion. They highlight the limitations of simple fusion methods and the effectiveness of the transformer model in multimodal tasks. The proposed approach tackles the multimodal counting problem from a new perspective, arguing that a superior multimodal feature encoder should be capable of both fusing and emulating modal features. In the field of computer vision, the task of crowd counting has seen significant advancements. However, most existing approaches focus on a single modality, such as RGB images or thermal images, which can be limiting in terms of accuracy and robustness. To address this limitation, researchers have proposed multimodal fusion methods that leverage the strengths of different modalities to improve performance. Wang et al. Propose a novel approach that utilizes a cross-modal emulation strategy to enhance modality alignment and fusion. Their framework consists of two main components: the multimodal inference, MMI, pass and the cross-modal emulation, CME, pass. The MMI pass uses a hybrid cross-modal attention module to fuse global and local modalities, while the CME pass emulates features of one modality into another, fostering coordination between different modalities. The authors introduce the hybrid cross-modal attention, HCMA, module, which comprises two types of attention mechanisms: straight cross-modal attention and modulated cross-modal attention. Straight cross-modal attention captures long-range contextual information by fusing global information from both modalities, utilizing a multi-head attention, MHA, mechanism. Modulated cross-modal attention, on the other hand, fuses local details in different modalities to obtain modulated complementary features. The proposed framework also employs a modality alignment loss to bridge the semantic gap between different modalities. This loss function is combined with a Bayesian loss to constrain the training of the overall model. The output features of the MMI pass are linearly combined using a weighted sum and fed into a regression head to generate a prediction for the final high-fidelity crowd density map. The author's approach leverages the strengths of both RGB and thermal images, enhancing the accuracy and robustness of crowd counting tasks. By utilizing cross-modal emulation and hybrid cross-modal attention, their framework demonstrates improved performance in various scenarios. This research contributes to the development of more effective multimodal fusion methods for computer vision tasks. The research proposes a novel approach for multimodal crowd counting by introducing a modulated cross-modal attention mechanism and a cross-modal emulation pass. The modulated cross-modal attention combines global and local features from both modalities, while the cross-modal emulation pass converts features from one modality to another to enhance their alignment. The overall loss function includes a modality alignment loss to bridge the semantic gap between modalities and a Bayesian loss for crowd counting. The approach is tested on two datasets, RGB-TCC and Shanghai Tech RGB-D, with promising results. The implementation details highlight the use of PyTorch and an NVIDIA RTX 3090 GPU. The novel ideas and significant findings in this research aim to improve the accuracy and robustness of crowd counting models by effectively fusing information from different modalities. The paper presents a novel approach to multimodal crowd counting, leveraging modal emulation to enhance the alignment and fusion of RGB and thermal image representations. This is achieved through the use of a hierarchical cross-modal attention (HCMA) mechanism, which consists of self-cross-modal attention (SCMA) and mutual cross-modal attention (MCMA) components. The authors also introduce a cross-modal emulation (CME) pass that utilizes an attention prompting module to further coordinate information from different modalities. The proposed method is evaluated on two datasets, RGB-TCC and Shanghai Tech RGB-D. On the RGB-TCC dataset, the authors achieve state-of-the-art performance with a gain 0 of 11.23 and RMSE of 19.85. Similarly, on the Shanghai Tech RGB-D dataset, their method outperforms previous models, achieving a gain 0 of 3.80 and RMSE of 5.52. An ablation study is conducted to evaluate the contribution of each component to the overall performance. The results demonstrate that incorporating the HCMA module and CME pass significantly improves counting errors, highlighting their effectiveness in enhancing modal fusion. The CME pass with attention prompting is particularly effective, leading to the best performance. The paper provides a comprehensive comparison with state-of-the-art methods, visualizations of generated crowd density maps, and a detailed discussion on the components' contributions. This work contributes to the field of multimodal crowd counting by proposing an innovative approach that leverages modal emulation for enhanced representation alignment and fusion. Wang et al. Propose an effective emulation-based two-pass framework for multimodal crowd counting, leveraging a multimodal inference pass and a cross-modal emulation pass. The multimodal inference pass includes a hybrid cross-modal attention module, which fuses global and local complementary information from different modalities. This is achieved through the use of attention prompting in the cross-modal emulation pass, encouraging the model to coordinate different modalities. Additionally, they introduce a modal alignment module to bridge the semantic gap between modalities. The authors conduct experiments to compare their proposed method with the vanilla cross-attention module in transformers. The results indicate that the improvement achieved by their proposed method is not primarily attributable to the simple introduction of the cross-attention module or additional parameters, but instead benefited from the carefully designed hybrid cross-modal attention (HCMA) and attention prompting modules. They also evaluate the distribution of the relative L1 distances between the thermal and pseudothermal features, as well as the RGB and pseudo-RGB features, suggesting that most of the pseudo-samples only have a slight difference from the targeted samples. This implies that the cross-modal emulation (CME) pass well coordinates the two modalities. Furthermore, the authors conduct an evaluation to address the question of whether these pseudomodal features can be directly employed in generating the final density map output. The results show that the model performance is degraded when concatenating the pseudo-features and real features to feed the regression head. This phenomenon may be due to the fact that despite the pseudo-features closely approximating the features of the target modality, there still exist certain discrepancies. In conclusion, Wang et al. Demonstrate that their approach achieves competitive performance and high effectiveness for crowd counting through quantitative and qualitative experiments on RGB-T and RGB-D datasets. Their framework has promising potential to be applied to a variety of multimodal tasks, which warrants further investigation in future research. The research paper discusses the concept of multimodal crowd counting via modal emulation. It begins by introducing various studies on visual prompt multimodal tracking and multimodal prompting with missing modalities for visual recognition. The authors also discuss RGB-D crowd counting with cross-modal cycle attention fusion and fine-course supervision, as well as efficient multimodal fusion via interactive prompting. The paper then reviews several techniques for crowd counting, including density map regression guided detection network, locating and counting heads in crowds with a depth prior, semi-supervised crowd counting via density agency, and boosting crowd counting via multifaceted attention. It also covers learning crowd counting via graph-modulated transformer and DecideNet, counting varying density crowds through attention-guided detection and density estimation. Furthermore, the authors explore attentive crowd flow machines, crowd counting with deep structured scale integration network, efficient crowd counting via structured knowledge transfer, and dynamic spatial temporal representation learning for traffic flow prediction. They also discuss cross-modal collaborative representation learning and a large-scale RGB-T benchmark for crowd counting, as well as pre-training task-agnostic visio-linguistic representations for vision and language tasks. Additionally, the paper examines Bayesian loss for crowd count estimation with point supervision, learning scales from points, a scale-aware probabilistic model for crowd counting, and towards a universal model for cross-dataset crowd counting. It also reviews multimodal crowd counting via a broker modality, hierarchical dynamic filtering network for RGBD salient object detection, very deep convolutional networks for large-scale image recognition, multi-level bottom-top and top-bottom feature fusion for crowd counting, and learning cross-modality encoder representations from transformers. Overall, the paper provides a comprehensive overview of various techniques and methodologies for multimodal crowd counting, highlighting the importance of modal emulation in enhancing the accuracy and efficiency of crowd counting systems. The research paper discusses the development of a novel multimodal crowd counting approach that leverages modal emulation to enhance accuracy in various scenarios. The authors emphasize the importance of utilizing multiple modalities, such as RGB, infrared, and depth sensors, to address challenges posed by different environmental conditions and crowd densities. They present a comprehensive review of existing methodologies, including neural architecture search, rehearsal-free continual learning, and cross-modal transformers, highlighting their strengths and limitations. The paper also explores recent advancements in spatiotemporal modeling, perspective-embedded scale selection networks, and cross-modal fusion techniques for RGBX semantic segmentation. Furthermore, the authors discuss the potential of uncertainty-inspired RGBD saliency detection via conditional variational auto-encoders and wide-area crowd counting through ground plane density maps and multiview fusion CNNs. They also touch upon the use of spatio-channel attention blocks for cross-modal crowd counting and anticipative feature fusion transformers for multimodal action anticipation. The paper concludes by outlining future research directions, including the exploration of new modalities and the development of more robust and efficient algorithms capable of handling diverse real-world environments. It emphasizes the significance of addressing the challenges associated with multimodal crowd counting to ensure public safety and optimize resource allocation in various settings.